Hydration packs are some of the most popular hiking packs on the market, and there are a lot of them out there. So I've chosen 5 of these standout hydration packs, including some of the top sellers on the market, and I thought that I would lay them out side by side, compare them to give you the information that you need for your purchasing decisions so that you don't get steered in the wrong direction. Without further ado, let's break it down, starting now. Okay, today I'm going to be laying out 5 different packs. I've got the Talon 22 from Osprey, the Arete 18 from CamelBak. I've got the SnoBlast from CamelBak, which is more of a winter skiing, snowboarding, hiking backpack that's going to have some thermal insulation for that water. And the Stratos 24, again from Osprey, as well as the Coulee 20 from Mystery Ranch. The Talon 22, I think, maybe stands out the most to me in this lineup of hydration packs. This is a $160 pack. It weighs 2.2 pounds and it carries 22 liters of capacity. Now, in general, when you're looking for a hydration pack, I find that around 20 liters to me is the sweet spot. If you're going higher than that, then the packs start to get what I think can be a little bit cumbersome, a little bit clunky, and you really should just be buying a hiking backpack that has bigger capacity that you can also just throw a hydration bag in at that point in the game. One thing to know, when you're buying a hydration bag from Osprey, this is a $160 bag, but it does not actually include the hydration bladder. Actually, I'm gonna lead with a little bit of a ding, but it gets better from here. There are some Osprey fans out there that were hitting me up hardcore in a previous video that I did, and I'm actually a big fan of Osprey, so I want you all to know about that. The actual loading and unloading of this bag when it's full is tough to do. There's just a really limited amount of space, and so you kind of have to just really work it in and out. However, that being said, one of the things that's cool about this is it's actually not even inside the backpack. It goes in between the backrest and the actual bag itself, which I think is pretty cool. That way, if you have any leaks, you have any issues, that water is not actually going into the main compartment of your bag, and your stuff's gonna be much more likely to stay dry. I don't really have much in here right now. I basically have a big puffy jacket, but inside you've got a decent amount of carrying capacity. You also have this extra add-on sleeve for a rain jacket or a light layer or something like that. So there are some thoughtful things. Now, this is a great backpack to be using if you are kind of a cross user between you really love hiking, you want to do some of the ultra light kind of stuff, you're going to be doing maybe a trail run, you can take your trekking poles, you can stow them on the go with this bag, and you might even be a mountain biker. One of the things that I think is pretty cool is it's got this helmet lock right here. If you're going to be doing some mountain biking, you can just attach your helmet to this if you're not, keeping it on your head. The way that works is you're going to kind of fish this up through one of the holes in your helmet. Voila, it is now attached. And that is how you can add on bike helmets. Now, Osprey is really well known for their airflow. And actually I have a different Osprey hydration pack that has a very different system for their airflow. This one is gonna be a little bit less, a little bit more minimalistic than their slightly bigger model. So it still looks like an exceptional amount of airflow there, so I really like that. Now, hydration packs in general are pretty lightweight hiking packs. So you really have the ability to be a little bit more nimble in them than some of your other packs. So there's a couple of cool things here. There's kind of like an add-on pocket here that I think is maybe intended for phones. Maybe it could be sunglasses or something else, but one thing I notice, my phone really doesn't want to fit in there. So if that's your intent, iPhone 13, not gonna fit. But it does, however, fit in the hip belt pockets. One other thing that I think is important to talk about is literally just the valve and the bag itself. I'm actually a really big fan of Osprey's hydration bladder. So they've got this bite valve that I'm a big fan of. You can disconnect the hose very simply from the main bladder, which is going to assist in drying it out, decreasing the amount or the opportunity for bacteria and mold and gross things to grow in here. So I like that they do that. It also can make it easier to fish the hydration bladder in and out, or to ditch this while you're loading your bag and then you reconnect it after you've got everything assembled. The biggest downside of the actual hydration bladder itself is, in my opinion, this locking mechanism. It's not bad, but you've got this kind of spin lock and it's easy to get confused as to where it's gonna go. It's a really minor ticky-tack issue, but I'm gonna show you a different one that I like a little bit better. Definitely important to note, if you like hiking with trekking poles and that's your thing, then this is a good backpack to have for that, because you can stow on the go with this system very easily. So the intention being that when you are hiking with trekking poles, you don't even need to put them into the side with compression straps. Things that I got a lot of people commented on a previous video that I did. So the trekking poles, this is a great feature that a lot of fans out there really like. Now we've got the CamelBak Arete. So one of the things right off the bat that I really like about the CamelBak hydration packs is that they come with a bladder. You do not have to buy a separate bladder. This is the most svelte and minimal of all of the bags that I'm going to be talking about today. This is an 18-liter bag, and it's basically just a lightweight bag. And there's not too much structure in it. It comes with this is a 1.5 liter hydration bag or bladder. For most hikes, I like to carry at least 2 liters. But this is definitely more minimal, or maybe people are out there running and you're just not gonna be running in with a ton of water on your back. Very minimal, very lightweight. There's almost no structure, no rigidity. And to some, that is a selling point. That is exactly what they want. You've got one little lid pocket up here, great for keys or things like that. Snacks, of course, and you've got then the main compartment with your ability to drawstring that closed, buckle it up, and you're on the move. It also has some additional carrying capacity with these side pockets. So you can carry more water bottles or just anything else that you want to stow on the side. One thing I do like is that CamelBak comes with these native clips. So a lot of the other bags, they might have these that you fish the actual line or the tube through, but then you don't necessarily have a clip and your tube is a dangling and flaying there, splaying around. And so I like that they just have some very simple stuff here. Some other good selling points for this bag, in my opinion, are its price and its weight. This is the least expensive product that I'm gonna be talking about today. It costs only $75, which when you factor in that it comes with the bladder itself, I think is a pretty dang good deal. And it weighs only 11 ounces. And for those of you who speak grams, that's 300 grams. So some things to note is as you wear this, it has one strap across the chest, but there is no extra buckle around your belly or around your waist. I guess if you're a trail runner, you're probably going to be going with a running specific hydration vest, and this is more for the hikers and day hikers out here, but this is going to be a very lightweight, minimal backpack if that is your thing. Okay. I want to talk about the Mystery Ranch bag. This is the Coulee 20 bag, which it's a little different because this is really a hiking bag, but it has hydration capabilities. You're a hiker first, and a hydration bag is maybe not your immediate purchase, not your go-to thing that you're gonna want. So your primary concern is you want a good hiking backpack, but occasionally you're gonna wanna be focusing on it like a hydration bag. And this does that. So you've got this main big zip that opens this whole thing up, and you can see that I've got my hydration bag in here. It is worth knowing that Mystery Ranch doesn't make their own actual bladders. So this is from Gregory, and I actually like this one. It has a cool little disconnect hose here, but you fish it through and then you've got tons of room. So if I'm looking to carry my camera equipment, which is important to me, then this is going to be a backpack that can do that. The Mystery Ranch Coulee is a $179 bag and it weighs 2.6 pounds. So it is at the top end of the price, although it's not the most expensive one, and it is going to be the heaviest one, but it's going to be the one with the most carrying capacity and the most, I should say, weight carrying capacity. So if you are going to be carrying a lot of water, plus camera equipment, plus gear for whatever your mission is, then this is the pack to consider. This could be an all-season type of video here because I want to talk about winter hydration bags. This is the SnoBlast 22 from CamelBak. The reason why I want to bring it up is because hydration bladders are really not great to hike in or ski in with cold temperatures. As you can imagine, if this little hose freezes, the whole thing is useless. You've got a bag of frozen water that you can't get to. Being able to access that water is super, super important. So what does CamelBak do? Well, first of all, they give it some insulation here. That's super important. And then it comes with some additional insulation by staying in here. So you can unzip it if you need, come and zip from it, and then re-zip that down, keep it out of the way as you're skiing, and it's going to be insulated. And theoretically, at least, this isn't going to build up a bunch of ice where your water is locked off and you're never gonna get it again. So this is primarily designed for skiers and snowboarders that are gonna be looking to keep hydrated on, your day on the trails, or if you're going skiing into the backcountry or side country. But there are some advantages to being able to take this if you are a winter hiker and you're gonna be snowshoeing and you wanna be doing something like that and carrying this around. Now, another couple cool things is you can add on skis onto the side. So if you're going to be hiking and stomping your way into the side country or into the back country, you can actually connect your skis on the side. Kind of hard to believe with such a small bag, but that is what these straps are for, and you've got that capability to haul your skis. And then you've got these cool yellow tabs over here where you can attach a helmet. So you can just fish your helmet straps, side by side and wrap it around and buckle it, and then now your helmet is attached if you happen to not be wearing it. Now, kind of like the Coulee, it's got this big open zip, which is really nice. It's got a little bit of some internal storage pockets to separate things out. This is probably gonna be for a little whiskey bottle or a little flask for a little nip of something when you're out there. And you've got a couple of different storage pockets. You've got kind of your inner pocket. It's protected in multiple ways. So you open this compartment, and then that's a good place for your keys, things that you definitely don't want to lose in that snow, places for snacks. And again, with the 22-liter capacity, you can carry extra jackets, extra layers, things like that, especially in the wintertime, you're gonna need. A couple other things worth considering is it also has a little bit of an ability to expand the bag. So if you've got that extra stuff that you're gonna need, you can open up this zipper, or you can close it up, keep things tight, especially if you're gonna be skiing, moving through those trees, doing whatever you need to do. You want a nimble experience. You want everything tight and sucked in. So doing that is going to really help. And again, in an effort to keep your water from freezing, it's got a little bit of some insulation and padding to keep that protected here. And we've got a 2-liter hydration bag. So again, you've got this ability to keep it insulated for most of the bag. You have the ability to disconnect it at the source, which if you needed to, you could, go in and warm this up and get that unfrozen if it did freeze. But I really like being able to disconnect this. It's so much better for being able to clear the water out and to not store it with water inside or for that to get moldy. And of course, just as you're filling it up with water, it's just easier to do when this hose isn't attached. I do like this big zip pocket that you can fish this whole thing in and then zip it closed. To me, that is extremely handy, a much more simple and easy loading system than that first Osprey bag I talked about. A few more technical bits about the CamelBak SnoBlast. It costs $120 and it weighs 2.4 pounds. I actually think that at $120, that's a good deal. I think that is a nice value for what it is. It is a little bit of a niche bag. It's a winter bag, so it's not gonna be, your do it all. You're probably not gonna wanna use this throughout the summer, but it is a really nice backpack. And that at $120, it includes the hydration bladder, which is so nice to save. You don't have to add on that extra $30, $40. One more little thing about this backpack, it's a small detail, but it's a nice detail. This is covered with some sort of water resistant material. So if you're out there in the winter, you're skiing in the snow, or maybe it's a mix, maybe the temperatures are fluctuating, you don't have to worry about the innards getting wet because this is essentially at least a water resistant backpack. I really like CamelBak's opening and closure system. So when you're not actively drinking, it's a good idea to leave your hydration bladder in a locked mode so that you don't accidentally squeeze it or set something on it and you just have all your water spill out. So as a locking mechanism, I love CamelBak's locking mechanism. It's this very simple lift, and it's very clear if it's locked. This is in locked position, this is in drink mode, and it's super easy to do. You could do this if you're wearing gloves. If you're fumbling around and it's really cold, it's gonna be the easiest system out there. So I am a fan of CamelBak's actual bite valve and locking system. The downside to me is this spin closure that, to me, I've seen this happen so much where you just don't get it quite threaded right. You put it in, you close it up, and then all that water spills out because you didn't get the thread closure locked just right. So you do have to be careful. Now the Osprey system to me is just a little bit better for me. I prefer it. Gregory has about the same system, so to me, Osprey is at the top with what they do there. Everybody's got their little nuances, their little designs. I really do like CamelBak's overall hydration bag a lot, but this is kind of a niche-y thing. For those of you who are looking for a winter bag, the SnoBlast is awesome. This is Osprey's bag that's most like a more traditional hiking backpack. Let's take a look first at their frame. This is the same frame that you're gonna see on the Exos and some of their other backpacks that has this really nice ventilation system, more of like a backpacking yoke. It's got a much bigger yoke system. It has a lot of airflow on this. You're gonna have tons of ventilation and this really simple system for changing the torso length. So you can change the torso length on this bag. You can change the torso length on the Mystery Ranch Coulee, but the other ones, you're just, whatever the size is, that's what you're using. And then you use these to adjust how it fits on you. The other thing that I like about it, it has a longer backpack. So when you actually are using the hip belts, it actually rests on your hips. And to me, that's really nice. A lot of the other hydration bags are just shorter, so they end up here, and that buckle that comes across is more like above your belly button. And I don't really like that. Here is a look at Osprey's bladder itself. I really like it, and one thing that I want to showcase is their closure system. So when you're wanting to fill it up, you have this fold over, and you just kind of pinch it open. It holds it open. Fill it up, and you fold it over and you slide this kind of Ziploc closure over it. I think it's the most trustworthy system for having a closure out there. I really like that. And then you can also see this is that disconnect feature, which I really like. The CamelBak also has that disconnect feature. Okay, you've got a ton of carrying capacity. So if you're gonna be doing day hiking, you're gonna be doing maybe some photography or something like that, this is going to be the bag that gives you a lot of options. You have the ability to store jackets or light layers. Up in here, you've got an extra pocket up here for snacks or things you wanna keep handy. And then you've got this very large compartment here for jackets, food, maybe even a sleeping bag or some extra gear, camera equipment, whatever it might be in this very large bag. With Osprey, you have the ability to do the stow and go trekking loops. So what you do there is you just fish the actual trekking pole points down this way, and then you've got this little elastic thing that you're gonna run over the handles up here, and it is a very simple system. If you are a trekking pole hiker, this is definitely a bag to consider here. And of course, you've got Osprey's big side pockets too. That's gonna be good for carrying smart water bottles or Nalgene's or whatever else, if you need that extra capacity to haul stuff on the side. You've got some buckles up here to cinch things in, or if you're gonna be taking a tripod or anything else like that, it's going to be a nice high point for that to give it some support on the closure. And overall, this is a really nice backpack. Stratos 24 is a $180 bag and weighs 2.75 pounds. So again, it is a little bit heavier. There's just a lot more to this pack, but it is the closest to a backpacking backpack or a real hiking bag that you're gonna encounter. One other nice add-on feature, the only one that has it, is a built-in rain fly. So if you are looking for that, that is handy that it's included, but that $180 price tag does not include the price of the actual bladder or reservoir. So factor that in with your pricing, because that's gonna make this the most expensive bag that I'm talking about today. Okay, my friends, that's it for me. I hope you found this comparison helpful. It's hard to rank them because I think that it just really depends on what you're going to be looking at. For my initial impression, I actually really like the Osprey Talon as a hydration bag. I think that that's just kind of the most classic traditional hydration bag out there, and I'm a big fan of that. Hit me up with questions if you have any other questions about hydration bags. Not my normal topic. I don't talk about this a lot, so hopefully you liked this video and found it informative. That's it for me. I'm Eric Hansen with Backpacking TV. Stay hydrated out there. See you later.